Need some coffee. Fortunately, coffee's not in the budget right now. It's time for business. It's business time. Although business time is on Wednesdays, realistically. So, welcome to the second episode of Wraeclast Weekly. I am your host, Noodle, and today we're going to talk about patch updates, official PoE news. We'll also talk about some unofficial news and exciting updates. So let's get started. Let's just jump into it. The first thing that I want to talk about is the teaser trailer for 3.3 update. At least 9 different skills, and they've pointed out a couple here in the forum. TarkyCat actually did a great video about these skill revamps that I will talk about later, link to as well in the description below. But what's happening essentially is that they want to revamp some of the older skills to keep them up to date with current existing skills. There were a couple callouts here. One of them is Ice Spear, which they found was bad at clearing, okay at boss killing, but it might need a lot of support gems to be viable. Also with Cold Snap, the same idea. It was alright with single target hit damage, but had poor AoE. They actually specifically mentioned that they might add a larger pulse that chills and applies a cold damage over time effect to nearby enemies. So actually adding an overtime damage, maybe like Vortex, to that. And the other skill that they called out was actually Infernal Blow, which I'm excited about because I did an Oni character with Infernal Blow. They also mentioned that they want to have skill themes, giving the example of Essence Drain and Contagion being partnered skills and having more themed skills. So, for example, volcanic attack skills that deal fire damage for chieftain-themed set of skills. So that's a lot of stuff to look forward to. What exactly that will entail for all 9, we will have to see. In other PoE news, they actually made a list of Ascendancy class statistics. So why this is particularly interesting in this league is that they just updated a bunch of the Ascendancies, as you know. And so you can see that in softcore Bestiary, we've got the top classes being Juggernaut, Hierophant, and Necromancer. And actually right now it is the same for hardcore Bestiary, just in a different order. Juggernaut, or actually, wait a second. In the exact same order, Juggernaut, Hierophant, and Necromancer. Now, if you compare these to last league, the top Ascendancies were Slayer, Raider, and Inquisitor in that order, and hardcore was Necromancer, Slayer, and Inquisitor. So if GGG was trying to get people to play different classes, that's definitely working. And who knows, with the revamp of some skills and some skill themes, maybe we'll see even more diverse classes. Then they also released a new patch, 3.2.1c, which is just a bunch of bug fixes. Nothing exciting coming out of that, but oh, Glowcube says, breaking nudes. There's a 3.2.2 patch happening right now, right meow, which is Battle Royale mode. Alright? This is some kind of April Foolsy maneuver, but it's actually mostly hilarious. You can play against 100 other characters as a completely new character. Full Battle Royale, you start with nothing but your base weapon and 3 wisdom scrolls. Then you go out, you find some supplies, and you try not to die. I highly recommend the hide in a bush and don't let anybody see you method. Just like Fortnite, that's your best chance for surviving. Just don't do anything. Be in the circle and don't do anything. Or you could be like me and try to kill everything and maybe get somewhere. So that's a pretty fun little update. That will be happening. Who knows how long this will be available. It might just be 24 hours. So get in there, kick some butt. All right, so in more shiny PoE things news, nothing that really has to do with official stuff, but is still from Path of Exile. Pretty exciting in my opinion. I'm still not sure if I'm going to do anything for this, but there's a t-shirt contest. Not a wet t-shirt contest though, so calm down. Put it away. It's designing your own t-shirt. If you have any kind of Path of Exile related design that you want to do, let's see, where does it say? You can submit up until April 16th, so you've still got some time to think up a cool design and submit that. There's some pretty cool prizes. Chaos Orb t-shirt, you'll get a comic, 250 points. I mean, sure, that'll get you half a set of wings or something. So that's pretty cool. I think that'd be pretty fun, and I can't wait to see some of the entries for that. In addition, I don't think I mentioned this last week, they released the Kraken Portal, which is my favorite LSD crab MTX that they've released so far. I think it's actually pretty cool looking. I like the little vortex in the middle here. So you can actually see, this one's pretty cool. I don't know if I would look like a dead fish for it. And I don't really have any MTX colors that match it, but it's actually really cool. The water effects, the vortex in the middle, the way it pops up. I can dig it. Good job, GGG. Can't fault you for that one. No negative fish comments from me on that. But if none of these MTX that we've seen so far are really, ringing your bell, they have also released the Fire and Ice mystery box items as purchasable MTX. So if there's something you didn't get from your set, now you can buy it, complete your set, mash things together into cool mix-em-ups, whatever you want to do. Honestly, I think these sets are both pretty cool. I have the Ice Portal myself and I like it. So hey, that's nice, now available. Can't wait until the Senescence box sets are available though. Those are definitely my favorite mystery box release so far. I mean, the ice armor, it's not the best. The fire stuff's pretty cool though. Yeah, okay, the ice armor's a little goofy. So now, moving on to build of the week. I'd like to start this segment in the future referring to GGG's build of the week and also my own build of the week pick. So if you want to submit your build for a future build of the week, just send me a message on YouTube, on Discord, on Twitch, wherever. I'll look it over. I would love to feature some more viewers' builds, but for now we will just talk about the featured build of the week on the PoE forums, which is Shepherd's Acid Molten Strike Assassin. So, in a nutshell, I'll get the video started. What this build does is it uses the Assassin Ascendancy, primarily utilizing the Noxious Strike notable in the Ascendancy
to Season 8 of Build of the Week. I'm Bex from Grinding Gear Games.
Apply multiple poisons.
In Build of the Week, we showcase interesting builds created by the Path of Exile.
They're giving me French subtitles.
And explore how they work.
That's actually amazing.
This week's Assassin build uses molten
So it uses poisons to, or Molten Strike to apply multiple stacks of poison.
It also takes advantage
So I do think this would be best as a boss killer. However, you can see it does seem to have pretty good clear. You could definitely make this pretty meme worthy by adding a lot of
this build takes full advantage of the rework
projectiles, getting maybe the Molten Strike has 2 additional projectiles helmet. As long as you're applying more stacks and also using aspect of the spider, you're going to have extra poison damage per poison stack. So each projectile adding a poison stack, that's the basic concept behind it. I was pretty excited because I've been trying to figure out a way to utilize the new aspects. And I was particularly interested in the Assassin Ascendancy and the Venomous set. I'm still hellbent on doing a full Venomous set build. This only uses the Venomous Weave to my understanding, but maybe I could use the helm and the gloves to do a build like this. I thought it was pretty cool. Obviously, I love the amount of balls.
Thanks to a property of the gloves, adds even more chaos damage.
Need I say more?
Also maims poisoned enemies, slowing them further.
If you'd like to have your build featured, I would love to talk about individuals' builds, and actually, if you want me to try a build, I would love that as well. Okay, moving on to more Reddit and memes type information. One of the posts on Reddit that I saw this week that I thought was interesting is talking about the AoE nerf that GGG implemented a few patches ago, quite a while ago. But it was interesting to see every AoE node on the tree, plus increased AoE, plus Carcass Jack. This is the biggest area of effect that someone was able to get. If you compare that to, where is it? So here, you can see that, and I will just bring this up. If you look at the AoE for that vortex here, I mean, that's huge comparatively. So did GGG nerf AoE too much? I personally think so. That's such a small area to be able to utilize, and there are some skills, and actually Tarky does a good job of talking about this, a lot of skills that require AoE to be usable, to be scalable, and if you're not able to get your area of effect far enough out when that's the whole crux of your skill, what's the point? That skill isn't going to be desirable or usable, and that's a huge issue with multiple skills, such as Earthquake, Vortex, obviously, Ice Crash. There's a lot of skills you can think of that just could really benefit from a, maybe not going all the way back to where it was before, but some sort of buff to the AoE nerf. It seems like they swung the pendulum really far that way. It tends to overcorrect when they do go into stuff like this. Like the vault map. Why? Why GGG? Ugh. But anyway, in spreadsheet fun, do you like spreadsheets? I like spreadsheets. Someone has put together a meta shift report. This is by Viperesque on Reddit. I will put the link down below as well. Basically, what they've done is they've talked about the Ascendancy changes as well, but also the nodes that people take within those Ascendancies and how much are taken. So for example, 99% of people playing Hierophant are taking Pursuit of Faith and Ritual Awakening. That makes sense. It's getting you your totems. It's kind of the whole point of Hierophant. Whereas some, like Ascendant, it's kind of across the board. They also talk about the skills that are being used more, the items that are being used more, which I thought was pretty interesting. So I won't read the whole thing to you. That'll take forever, but I highly recommend checking it out. It's very interesting if you like statistics. I'll just read his summary really quickly. It says, the Ascendancy rework appears to have mostly succeeded at giving players a reason to pick every Ascendancy, although a couple seem in need of further tweaking. Within each Ascendancy, some nodes are still mostly ignored. And in terms of actual builds, the meta hasn't shifted very heavily, which I would agree with. I mean, you see Slayer taking a pretty big dip in terms of being played, but a lot of people are still playing Necromancer. And I think a lot of people are just trying out Hierophant because it was not viable before. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be in the new meta. So I thought that was interesting. Going back to the Turkey Cat video that I mentioned, I'm not going to talk too much on this because it's about a 12-minute video. I can't really explain everything he talks about, but he gives a good discussion on ways in which they could rework the skills without changing the mechanics, just changing the numbers and things like the area of effect. So, really interesting video. Definitely recommend looking at that. Another thing that I won't go into too much detail here, but I'm sure is on everyone's minds, is the Elder Ring concept. I need to do some more further personal research before I try to explain this, but basically there is a way, let's see, we're going to try to noodle this out. Because the Guardians always have to be connected to the Elder, there is a way to force the connection to be going around in a circle like this to have the connecting points rather than it just being adjacent. And so you get rid of a couple of the Guardians so that there's they need to be connected. So you can see here, I'll just zoom in really fast.
Hey guys.
And this is Marty PoE's video. I think there are a few videos explaining. You can see this Elder has to be attached to this Guardian. It's not going through the quickest point, so you're able to force the Elder around to have that connection to this other Guardian. Exactly how you do that, again, I have to do some further research. I'll link to the videos. If you guys have any advice, tips, questions, maybe go to Marty PoE or Zizarin or other people who have successfully made these Elder Rings. Obviously, this is pretty meta, pretty high level stuff. Probably requires quite a bit of mapping. I'm sure the shaper cuts off at some points. Last thing I want to share is just a little bit of memes. Not too many memes besides the Battle Royale that's going on right now. But this comic by Joe Duncan was pretty great. Just a comic about trade interactions. So, you know, I'd like to buy your plate listed for 60 chaos, but I have 55 chaos. Can you sell for 55 chaos? All the time. 55 and a kiss. Smoochy, smoochy. I thought that was pretty cute and accurate to my player interactions, at least. Alright, well, that's all I have for Wraeclast Weekly, Episode 2. Thank you for joining me, and stay sane, Exile.
Say it like that. If I hate you, then find someone new.